I mean, you shouldn't come here depressed. You should come here and feel excited, because we have many things to do. There is so much to be done, and we have to realize that we need to pass on to action. In 1989, I registered zero emissions as a trademark. I looked at nature, and I realized in nature there are no net emissions. There's always carbon sequestration. In nature, there's no waste. Everything is always recycled. In nature, there is no unemployed. Everyone always contributes to the best of their abilities. And in nature, no one cheats. Wow, what an inspiration. Can't we have nature as our inspiration? So I think the key of our developments is that we will succeed in getting new ideas moving forward. And so let's be inspired by nature. Let me tell you the story. Do you know that this bird brings the babies? You don't believe that? The babies are born and they're brought to you by the stork. Let me tell you the real story from science. Ecosystems in nature function incredibly well. The stork flies from the north of Europe to South Africa, finds a little puddle, steps into the puddle. How did that puddle come about? Because the rhinos and the elephants have ticks, garrapatas. And since they have the ticks, they need to take these mud baths and these dust baths, and they create this little hole. And when it rains, there is water. And so the stork comes and thinks there is food and finds nothing. But then he finds another one, which is a real one with frogs and fishes, and they stick the eggs to his legs. And he goes to the next one that was created by the rhinos and the elephants, and he leaves the eggs behind. And within a few weeks' time, we hear the squeaking of the frogs, and we see the tadpoles coming. Who is the responsible? The stork. No, who was responsible? La garrapata. The ecosystem is always there to create life. And if we don't understand how the ecosystem works, then we are having great difficulties in moving forward. I'm trying to make this clicker work. Hey guys in the back, hola señores atrás. Me ayudan por favor con el clicker porque no está andando bien. Gracias. Sí, y lanza por favor el video. Let's look at some of the technologies. Otra vez por favor. Señores, atención atrás. Gracias. Let us look at some of the new technologies we're introducing. We need to go beyond what we know. If we only do more of what we know, we will never get out of the situation. That means we need innovation, we need creativity, we need perseverance. And one of the things that always shocked me is that wind power is limited to a very small set of space, whereas we have above the 200 meters always wind. So we set out to create wind that is base load energy. And we've proven it on the boat. And this boat you see there has this little robot that manages a sail, and that sail is going to give us power from the sky 24 hours a day. Imagine what it means. Wind becomes base load. We can compete head-on with nuclear and coal because we're at 3-4 cents kilowatt hour. Working 24 hours a day means that we can completely change the logic. We've just raised another $40 million for this project. It's German-based. But one of the first initiatives that we're taking for this kind of a technology is going to be in the Canary Islands, on the island called El Hierro, a small island where Endesa about 18 years ago, decided to co-invest in making the island self-sufficient. Now you're looking at a new technology that will turn the island fully self-sufficient. We're going to be placing it in Latin America, in Africa. We need technologies that allow us to really change the logic. And if you have a technology like the wind power that becomes base load, then you have an excess. And that excess power on site, we are immediately converting into hydrogen. The hydrogen economy is now, not 2035, not 2040. We're securing drinking water with renewable power, and that renewable power, we are securing that the excesses go into hydrogen, and the hydrogen will be for the fishing boats. The first fishing boats with a 0-kilometer transportation cost for the hydrogen. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what we need. Next slide, please. Próximo, por favor. El clicker no está funcionando. Now, we have called this ship, where we're testing all the new technologies, we have called her Porrima. And Porrima is the goddess, the Roman goddess of the future. She is the protector of the pregnant women. We need to birth a new society. We need to birth a new community. And therefore, we need that symbolism of Porrima, the goddess of the future. Next slide, please. Next slide. We have to go a bit faster because what we're needing is this great inspiration that I got from Pistoletto. Michelangelo Pistoletto, you know the sign of infinity. Past, future. And the present is a dot. Pistoletto told us that you have to make the present much bigger, and you have to take initiatives by creating a bigger present. So that is what we're doing today. And we need to think very strongly out of the box. When I saw this film, I realized that the whales are fishing with air bubbles. And we're fishing with nets. Well, who invented that? For 6,000 years, we've been fishing with nets and with lines, whereas the whales, they do it with air bubbles. So we have now developed a new fishing technique that's on a catamaran. And we release the air bubbles that will push the fish up to the surface, and we can scoop. But nature is very intelligent. Why do the dolphins and the whales use air bubbles? Because when they have air bubbles, the mama fish with eggs in the belly are more heavy, and since they're more heavy, they will escape the air bubbles. Ingenious! The genius of, no water here, that's fine. The genius of nature is that they secure systems whereby you take out the fish while securing that the babies will be born from the mamas who have the eggs. That is going to be installed in our new boats in Morocco. Next, please. Próximo, por favor. Here you're seeing the vision of the island of El Hierro. That is where we're looking at the fishing techniques. That's where we're looking at the new hydrogen/kite technologies. Next, please. And here you see a picture of the investment done 15 years ago. After 15 years of wind power, you need to go to the next generation of energy. Next, please. Próximo. Let us look at the problem of life. In the Pacific, there are millions of turtles that are born along the coast of Colombia and along the coast of Peru, Ecuador. And when they're born, they have to do this race to the sea. When they arrive at the sea, only 10% survives because the majority is eaten by the birds. And immediately they're eaten. But they succeed in swimming 30, 40 kilometers, get on the von Humboldt current, and are taken all the way to Japan. And 15 years later, they come back to lay eggs in exactly the same place. They have the GPS, the geolocalization, perfectly established in their mind. Today, only 0.1% returns to lay eggs. Why? Plastics. We have inundated the world with plastics. Next, please. And show the video, please. Click. Thank you. We need to secure that life has a future, but life is today compromised. The report was published yesterday that babies born today in Europe have 15 times more micro and nanoplastics in the body than you and I have. We are not just doing the climate change drama, we are killing the world with nanoplastics, and the industry has no interest to address it. Next, please. So we are looking at where are the sources of these plastics. Next, please. Próximo, por favor. Por favor. Deme un otro. Gracias. Y el próximo. Next. These are your mouthpieces, yes? 5 billion already in the sea. Every one of you is inhaling microplastics. Welcome to the world of microplastics and self-intoxication. Next, please. Próximo, por favor. We are making bioplastics today degradable in the sun and the sea from thistles, il cardo. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to announce to you that this is a unicorn. I've been the chairman of this company for 10 years, and this is a unicorn. Bioplastics as a unicorn is totally new in this world. And we have to get used to those kind of initiatives. But it took 25 years of perseverance. It is not a quick fix on the New York Stock Exchange. It is persevering with legacy investors. Investors who are prepared to go for the long term. Next slide, please. Next. Next. I'll conclude with this, because I see my time is up. We need technologies to take microplastics, and particularly the nanoplastics, back out of the ocean, back out of the sea. And the great inspiration we got for this huge investment project, 2.5 billion euro investment, is that we have studied how the lungs work. Our lungs are 500 million sponges, connected to billions of capillary veins. They extract only CO2 from our blood. Everything else is left in. I asked the scientists, can we do the same with nanoplastics? And 3 months later, they came back and said, we can do. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2022, we will be installing the first nanoplastic removal units from the oceans. We will have a capacity equal to that one of our lungs, which is 1 cubic meter, 1,000 liters of water per second. That means with the thousands of these units, we will be able to remove all nanoplastics from the Mediterranean, provided we raise 2.5 billion. Ladies and gentlemen, we have investment opportunities, not only to create the energies of the future, we have investment opportunities to correct the errors of the past. Thank you.